Just incredible. Snowbanks higher than me, higher than Nathan Coleman, our bureau reporter in the Maritimes. Glad you could join us. I'm meteorologist Nicole Karkic. We've got a nor'easter moving through Atlantic Canada today. A swath of school closures and building closures in the Maritimes already, and then it makes its way into Newfoundland later today. Take a look at some snowstorm highlights, and this takes a look at February 2nd to 3rd. Charlottetown at 65 centimeters exceeds the February average, and that's just 2 days. And we know that there's a lot of winter left to be had, so we could be looking at some epic record-breaking numbers here by the end of the season. These are the warnings to consider. We do have extreme cold warnings in northern New Brunswick, the winter storm warning here including Moncton, a snowfall warning through parts of Nova Scotia and PEI, and Sydney and a winter storm warning. I want to highlight too this green for southern Newfoundland including Burgeo. That's a rainfall warning with up to 70 millimeters of rain coming through tonight, and the ground really is so cold it can't hold all that rain. Plus the winds picking up tonight, wind gusts up to 110 kilometers an hour through the day on Friday. And this morning, Halifax changing over to rain towards Sydney. We'll see that change over to rain as well. Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Nicole Karkic with you. We're looking at messy weather through Atlantic Canada again. That's why we're in storm watch for you. There is a nor'easter moving through, bringing in some cold northerly winds later on today, but it's actually a fairly mild start. Places like Moncton sitting at -1 into the afternoon. We do have some light snow falling in parts of southern Ontario around Kitchener, Waterloo, and some northerly winds creating some lake effect bands around Collingwood and towards Kincardine too. This morning in Sydney, it's -1. Look at Halifax, +3. So snow changing over to rain. St. John is -2. Fredericton -7, feeling closer to -11. But we're going to see a sharp cool down tonight with those northerly winds as the system departs. Since last Tuesday, well, you've seen the piles if you live there. Charlottetown, 115 centimeters of snow, and you are still seeing more through the day today. Charlottetown, 15 to 25 centimeters, but places north of Halifax, 25 centimeters or more, and the snow is moving out today in New Brunswick. Let's turn our attention to Nathan Coleman joining us in New Brunswick with the snow falling sideways. Quite a swing and too much snow, as well as more snow coming, plus some rain too. So it's going to make things very messy. The roads being frozen just can't hold any of that rain either. So it's going to be some flooding concerns. Northern Peninsula East seeing 25 to 50 centimeters or more. We've got St. John's with sunshine this afternoon, but as the system moves in, you're just going to get some light snow changing over to rain. Burgeo is going to get hit hard with rain. Anything in this burgundy color, 50 millimeters or more, could be closer to 100 millimeters, especially in the higher elevations. Gander in that rain as well. First your snow, then your rain. So you get the point. It is messy. Just as the system makes its way through, we get a push of warm air plus those southerly winds. This afternoon in Montreal, you're -14 with a mix of sun and cloud. Wow, piles higher than me. And Chris.
And Nate. And Nate is like way up here.
Exactly.
Good morning to you. It's February 5th, and here we go.
We've seen 132 centimeters in Moncton. This is just since last Tuesday. There's more to go. We are in storm watch for you in Atlantic Canada.
Yeah.
Here's why. All
right. Well, this time the storm track's a little further east, so it looks like the hardest hit areas will be eastern Nova Scotia and eastern PEI as opposed to Moncton and St. John, but you're still going to get about 15 centimeters of snow.
Right. And for Lunenburg as well as Yarmouth, we're seeing a little bit of rain changing over to snow at times, so it's messy.
It will. It's in Halifax. I mean, you started with snow. You're going to have rain today, and then by tonight it's going back to snow. So this is windshield washer fluid. You're going to need a lot of that today.
Right. Quite a spectacular shot. The winds are going to be howling a lot more than that, though, coming in tonight through to Friday.
Let's tell you, in Ship Cove, by the way, the end of the road of the northern peninsula. So essentially western Newfoundland, car-burying snow. In south coast Newfoundland, this is going to be some flooding rains, and we'll show you how much you can expect locally, up to about 100 millimeters. And for eastern Newfoundland, house-shaking wind is coming, and that's going to be picking up overnight tonight into Friday.
Right, so the heavy amounts of rain here, 50 millimeters or more. The ground is really frozen, so it can't absorb the rain.
Right.
That's going to be a problem. St. John's, you're sunny this afternoon, and then you get a little bit of rain, so missing the bulk of this storm, but you will also be windy.
Take a look at this afternoon. So we're having a bit of a thaw across portions of the Maritime, so a milder day, if that's any bright side for you. Quebec City down towards Montreal, though, getting into the wind chills in the -20s. Get around the Wasaga Beach area, and callers to our storm line. An additional 2 to 5 Collingwood down to the extreme northern areas of the GTA, anywhere from Kincardine, Goderich over towards Listowel, so mainly north of London, an additional 2 to 5 plus centimeters.
Right. We've got Edmonton sitting at minus 16 for the afternoon. So take a look at this. For Red Deer this morning, close to a centimeter, picks up in intensity by the afternoon with 5 centimeters. Edmonton, your afternoon too as well. Really heavy snow for that commute, and then it continues right through Friday, Chris.
Yeah, and Calgary generally going to miss this. I know this is hard to read, but they're Edmonton about 10 to potentially 15 centimeters of snow, and you'll have more tomorrow. And this is all part and parcel of the big push of moisture that's getting loaded onto the BC coast with heavy rains now and heavy rains into tomorrow.
That's right. And for the snow, heavy amounts, fresh snow coming through Whistler, however, but we do have Jasper and a snowfall warning. Stay tuned. Our storm watch continues for Atlantic Canada. Certainly has. Thanks so much, Nathan. So do check for any school closures. I know across Nova Scotia there are a couple of buses not running, but schools still open, so you just might want to clarify that for your area. This afternoon, Calgary will be minus 10. We've got some snow moving into Edmonton with a snowfall warning in place. And the east, yes, cold here in Ontario, but very mild in places like Halifax where you're getting rain later this morning. Let's check in with Kasia Badurka, who's in the deep cold this morning. Tell us where you are.
Yes. We are in Port Hope, Ontario, Nicole. It's actually really cute if you see behind me, the lights are out, and actually there was a lot of activity not too long ago. Still the snow plows very busy at work, but it is cold. So, you know, we thought we're going to embrace this reality, Nicole. So I would like to challenge our viewers, my friends on Twitter. I want to hear your cheesy jokes. It's so cold that, and I'm going to begin the game. It's so cold, you have to open the refrigerator door to heat your house. Kind of cheesy, but we're going to have some fun with this throughout the show.
Okay.
Bundle up, my friends in Ontario. Back to you inside.
All right, I'm going to work on my It's So Cold That, and I want to hear some of yours on Twitter, and we'll say them here on TV. Today, we've got some northerly winds creating some lake effect bands over towards Collingwood, seeing a band right now. Kincardine down to Goderich as well. 2 to 5 centimeters through the day, so not too much. Cold is a big story as well. Cap is casing over to northern Quebec, feeling like the minus 30s to minus 40s to start off. And this afternoon, Montreal's minus 14, some sunshine. Tomorrow, you will see some snow moving in, but the mild air in through parts of the east, which is going to bring some rainfall tonight. Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Nicole Karkic with you. So some pictures on Twitter and our website, theweathernetwork.com. These are the snow piles in Moncton, New Brunswick. Hard to know where we're going to put it all, but you can see they can't even reach it. It's taller than them. We've got more snow on the way today. People going for a nice skate. This is on the sidewalk. We also had some pictures of people going to the traditional rinks. You can always do that as well. We're in Storm Watch here at the Weather Network because we do have an impending storm moving through Atlantic Canada. ATL storm, if you want to use the hashtag so we can find your pictures and tweets. ON storm for messy weather in Ontario, and AB storm with a snowfall warning in Edmonton. Well, you can skate outside in the front yard or build your own backyard rink. Here's Mike Arsenault with more on that.
Far, and here's another one. It's so cold that Richard Simmons started wearing pants. But no, it's bad.
I like it.
We're going to send it back to you inside, Nicole.
We've been thinking of some here in our newsroom, and we came up with, and this is our first one, it's so cold that my shadow is freezing to the sidewalk. So more to come. As we look at the big systems across the country, rain moving into the lower mainland today. It's going to be soggy right until Friday with over 100 millimeters in some parts, and then we've got the big storm in the east. City figuring out what to do with all that snow, and there's more coming. How much have we seen since last Tuesday? Since last Tuesday only, with 3 storms, 132 centimeters in Moncton, a slew of watches and warnings in the east, with Moncton in a winter storm warning. We've got extreme cold coming tonight for New Brunswick, as well as Sydney, Cape Breton Island in that winter storm warning. Newfoundland going to get hit hard, not just with snow, that's for the western shores, but rain, Burgeo, Burin, Buckins as well. So it is going to be very messy in the east. Nathan Coleman joining us right now in New Brunswick. That's right. And a quick look at what we have coming through to Friday night. That was people on the street in the city of Moncton talking about all that snow. Where is the city going to put it? That's the big question.
And more is falling as we speak. We've got another system on deck, and this one is likely going to not spare, you're still getting snow, but the big wrath of this one could be western Newfoundland with heavy snow. And then we got, of course, this big system here punching in all sorts of heavy rain for the south coast, and that's going to bring some snow in the prairies as well.
That's right, Edmonton in a snowfall warning. So snow, Chris, is going to be 25 centimeters or more in the white, so parts of Cape Breton Island. Charlottetown, pretty heavy as well. Note, too, that we're going to see some rain mixing in. We've already seen it start in places like Halifax. Let's go quickly right now to Nathan Coleman joining us in Moncton, New Brunswick. Yes, you do. Thanks so much, Nathan. And the snow then shifts into Newfoundland, Chris, with places like St. Anthony getting hit the hardest.
Corner Brook as well, so certainly something to keep in mind with the windshield washer fluid we're going to need.
Back to the dry, cold weather here in Toronto at -1 this afternoon. Ottawa -13. Halifax pretty mild at 4 degrees. Messy weather across the Maritime provinces. For Calgary, -10. Vancouver, on the other hand, +10.
So here's my next cheesy joke, okay? It's all about the fromage. It's so cold that the politicians had their hands in their own pockets.
Oh.
Am I going to get in trouble for that one? Nicole, your
Maybe
turn.
a little bit. All right, someone just tweeted me and said, it's so cold that Jack Frost is booking a trip down south. So that's one response from a Twitter follower. We want to hear more from you at Nicole Karkic, at Kasha TWN, also at Weather Network too. We've got current systems bringing lots of rain into BC for the afternoon. We've got Vancouver as well as Fraser Valley under significant rainfall, a special weather statement for significant rainfall over 100 millimeters in the next 48 hours. And our big system in the east, we are in storm watch. We've got a lot more snow coming, though, for the east. Since last Tuesday, Moncton, 132 centimeters of snow. There are snowfall warnings in place for parts of PEI as well as Nova Scotia. Moncton, however, is in a winter storm warning for not just the snow, but the winds. And tonight, that purple, that's an extreme cold warning. Also a slew of warnings in places like Newfoundland for rainfalls. So it's messy. Nathan Coleman joining us right now. And Nathan, I don't know how tall you are, but I know those banks are taller than you right now. Do you know what the city is going to do with all the snow?
It's so cold that Justin Bieber wouldn't bare his skin and latest hats for the latest Calvin Klein campaigns. Huh? What do you think?
Ooh. A Canadian with a winter joke. I love it. And we got Lloyd McLeod on Twitter who said, it's so cold, the plows are shivering.
There you go. Rob Woolard says it's so cold, he's opening up the freezer door just to warm up. So there you go. And some of the stories we're following today besides the cold.
Yeah, historic snowfall in the Maritimes. The Alberta Snowfall has begun with warnings in places like Edmonton and heavy rain and flood concerns for British Columbia.
All right, quick peek there. This is what you're expecting this afternoon. So this is what you have to dress for. And the temperatures in white and in the blue, that's the wind chill, what it's going to feel like. Note Halifax and much of the Maritimes mild today, so it's going to be slushy out there. Top up your windshield washer fluid.
Exactly, and we are in storm watch for Atlantic Canada.
The camera through all the snowbanks. There's more snow to go, mixing with rain in Nova Scotia and in Newfoundland. This could be potentially flooding rain in the south, heavy snow in the west.
All right, now we've got Nathan Coleman with us, so let's check in with him. Nathan, what is the city and the province doing with all this snow? Messy morning on those major highways across the Maritime provinces. We do have heavy snow moving through St. John towards Moncton, and it's going to be snow changing over to rain in places like Halifax up towards Cape Breton Island. Snow and very strong winds through the overnight, and then it shifts into Newfoundland. Through the morning, that green is the rain. All snow across New Brunswick, and for the afternoon, it remains as snow there for New Brunswick, and then Sydney does start to see that rain pushing in with milder air.
So it's so cold that we've been playing this game on Twitter. I love what I've been seeing. I got one here for the farmers out there. It's so cold that when we milk the cows, we got ice cream.
Ah, nice. That's a good one. Well, Sean Etheridge tweeted us here and said, it's so cold, it's colder than my ex's heart. Sad. Sad. Hopefully you found love again. As we look across the country, we've got a system moving into BC. 100 millimeters of rain over the next 2 days for parts of the lower mainland, including Vancouver. And we've got our storm watch coverage in Atlantic Canada. 3 storms in the last week have brought 132 centimeters for Moncton, St. John, 128, and there's more to go. Lots of school closures across the Maritimes, specifically in New Brunswick. Nova Scotia has some school closures, but also more so buses aren't running, or they're running cautiously. Here's Nathan Coleman joining us in Moncton, New Brunswick. Nathan, how are people coping in the area that you've been speaking to with all these storms? Yeah, big dollar signs and big numbers here, with more precip moving in for the afternoon and evening for the Maritimes. That's right, Stormwatch. Glad you could join us, Nicole and Chris, with you. We're looking at historic snowfall in the Maritime provinces. In Alberta, snowfall has begun with a slew of warnings, including Edmonton, and heavy rain and flood concerns for you in British Columbia.
Yeah, rainfall warnings in Metro Vancouver and much of the lower mainland, and it is pouring rain out there right now, and it's going to be pouring rain through tomorrow and likely into Saturday as well. So big system on the west and a big system, 2 systems, one now in the Maritimes and one on way for all of Atlantic Canada.
Right, so let's talk some numbers, Chris. We've got New Brunswick in the north, not as much, but down towards Moncton and St. John, an additional 5 to 15. And then we've got in the white around Cape Breton Island, not just snow,
that's right,
but some rain as well.
Yeah, very slushy, very sloppy out there. And then into Newfoundland, the second storm is really going to impact you as well. So you got 2 storms combined. Look at this, 25 to 50 plus centimeters in many parts of the west. So this is going to be a big snowfall for you. Meanwhile, in the east, it'll be all about the winds, and the south coast, periods of heavy rain, potentially flooding rains as well for the south coast.
That's right. Burgeo, Burin Peninsula, over 50 millimeters of rain, could be closer to 75 in the higher elevations. Let's turn our attention next to southern Ontario, where we do have some lake enhancement right now off of Georgian Bay and Huron.
Yeah, anywhere from about Goderich towards the Seaforth Mitchell area, some poor visibility, so an additional 5 plus centimeters. Otherwise, it's lots of sunshine for you across southern Ontario. Get the shades out, but you'll need the woolies because wind chills are going to be around minus 20 much of the day.
That's right. Northern Ontario, too, pretty cold.
Minus 40 wind chills this morning.
All right, and that just disappeared on us, but that is supposed to be a rainfall, freezing rain warning in place for southern Saskatchewan. Oh, there it is back again. Yeah,
Medicine Hat to Shaunavon. This will be more so this afternoon, so you're on the warmer side of this storm system. Further north, though, Nicole, some big snow coming in, and this is going to have a big impact on the day's drive and driving home in, say, Edmonton and westwards.
Yeah, that's right. So this afternoon in Edmonton, it really starts to pick up. Let's go to Deb Mediechka right now, who's joining us in Alberta.
So we've been playing this game all morning long. This one, I'm not going to take full credit. Dwayne, our cameraman, and I came up with this one. It's so cold, even Miley Cyrus won't take a selfie. Her hands are too cold. What do you think?
I like it. We got Eric Bernard on our Twitter account who said, "It's so cold, I saw a teenager wearing snow pants." I like that one. Remember those days where you were too cool to wear hats and gloves because you were a teenager? I'm glad that's over for me. Of current systems, we've got a rainfall warning in place for the lower mainland, including Howe Sound, as well as Vancouver. And through the Prairie provinces, yes, it's cold, extending into Ontario, and our big storm watch in the east. Same can be said for Charlottetown as well as St. John. We've got more snow on the way. Here are the warnings in place. We do have snowfall warnings for parts of PEI and Nova Scotia. This extreme cold warning in purple is in effect for tonight, so it gets a lot colder as northerly winds funnel in. And for Cape Breton Island, winter storm warning, same for the western shores of Newfoundland. In the green, though, it's going to be terrible. We've got a rainfall warning place for Burgeo as well as Buckins. That will be 75 millimeters potentially on ground that is frozen, so it just can't soak up any of that rain. Wind warnings, prolonged, really strong winds beginning tonight for St. John's, up to 100 kilometers an hour, could be 110, extending anywhere marked in this yellow color. So while St. John's, you're not getting hit too hard by the storm in terms of rain or snowfall, you are going to see really strong winds. Also, a lot of snow moving into Stephenville, Corner Brook as well, 25 to 50 centimeters with a plus sign, so it could be a little bit more than that. And for the Maritime provinces, not much left to go in New Brunswick, and the rain is moving out this afternoon for Halifax, but it's followed by snow again tonight, and then anywhere in white seeing 25 centimeters or more this afternoon. Here's your temperatures. Back to the dry, cold weather here in Toronto at -1 this afternoon. Ottawa -13. Halifax pretty mild at 4 degrees. Messy weather across the Maritime provinces. For Calgary, -10. Vancouver, on the other hand, +10.
But we've been having a little bit of fun with these "it's so cold that" jokes. We've had plenty throughout the show. Our friends on Twitter have been piping in as well. But here's one that I just made up. It's so cold that even the warmest of hearts, Nicole Karkic, is called an ice princess.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Thanks.
That was a shot over the bow.
That was. Sounds like an anti-Disney movie. So T. Rimkus on Twitter says, it's so cold, Winnipeggers are wearing shorts already.
Oh, well, then you know it must be cold. All right. Developing stories. Historical snowfall in Atlantic Canada we've been talking about, especially the Maritimes. But the next one coming in looks like it has Newfoundland in its sights.
Right, and the Alberta Snowfall has begun. A lot of warnings, including Edmonton, up to 20 centimeters.
Wow.
And heavy rain and flood concerns for BC, with possibly 100 millimeters for North Shore, Howe Sound, as well as Metro Vancouver.
That'll also elevate the avalanche risk in the coming days, and our storm watch coverage begins now. Love seeing it. It's like a spiky snow, it looks like. All right, so Moncton, you are on a winter storm warning. Charlottetown, you're in a snowfall warning. And across Newfoundland, St. John's, you're in a wind warning. But further west, this is where the heaviest snow likely going to be today. Western Newfoundland and in Cape Breton, big mess headed your way.
So messy because we have snow, we have rain, we have wind, and then Burgeo, Buckins, Buren, we're looking at 75 to 100 millimeters of rain in the higher terrain, and hours upon hours of strong winds in St. John's beginning tonight, gusts up to 110 kilometers an hour. So while you're not getting the big storm, you're getting the big winds.
Absolutely. House-shaking winds. Meanwhile, across the west, we're also talking about a lot of snow. Well, we'll get to that momentarily. So Halifax, you could see about 15 centimeters of snow, but then a lot of rain, too. So it's really a half and half storm for you.
Right.
And Sydney, by the way, Nathan Coleman's going to be heading there, and he's going to be joined by Mark Robinson. So stay tuned for coverage for those areas.
They're going to have a lot of fun in that storm. So through today, around Goderich, still seeing a band, 2 to 5 centimeters. It's really tapered off around Collingwood at this point. In the extreme cold in northern Ontario, as well as northern Quebec. And your temperatures in the east this afternoon, Halifax +5.
And you know what? I'm going to end today's show off, if you don't mind me saying so, with the final joke. It's so cold that the outdoor weather reporter is going to do her last hit from the inside of the car. Back to you inside.
Bravo, Tasha.
Too cold.
Love it. So Daniel on Twitter says it's so cold he's considering moving to Mars for the warmer weather. Please send us your answers on @WeatherNetwork. For our current systems, we do have a rainfall warning in place for Metro Vancouver, Howe Sound, Sunshine Coast as well. Cold through the prairies today. Not much activity, a few flurries here and there. And then we look towards Atlantic Canada, where our storm watch coverage begins. This week, Moncton, New Brunswick, over 100 centimeters on the ground with more to go. We do have Moncton in a winter storm warning. There are school closures across New Brunswick for today. Some school closures in Nova Scotia, but more so a lot of buses aren't running, so check in your area for that. Sydney in a winter storm warning, not only the snow, but some rain moving in later today. And rainfall is going to be a big problem in Newfoundland with Burgeo, Buckins, and Buren in a rainfall warning with up to 75 to 100 millimeters, especially in the higher terrain. And for St. John's, not getting hit hard by rain or snow, but the winds very powerful tonight. Hours upon hours of winds gusting up to 110 kilometers an hour. That's tonight through to Friday. And through to Friday night, western shores of Newfoundland, including Corner Brook, possibly 25 to 50 centimeters. But look, quite a little bit less here, Gander, Bonavista. That's because you're also going to see the rain. Rain has already started in Halifax, as well as Yarmouth and Lunenburg. You're going to catch a little bit of a break, but then snow again tonight with the northerly winds and the wraparound effect. And look at Cape Breton Island, 25 centimeters, possibly more. This afternoon, Montreal's -14, but you'll see quite a bit of sunshine. Northern Quebec and Ontario does have extreme cold warnings in place where it feels closer to the -40s. Colder today across Ontario for the afternoon highs. Toronto -11, feeling closer to -17. Look at you in Ottawa. For St. John's, feeling closer to -12. And over towards Calgary, quite a dip this afternoon, feeling closer to -16 with the wind chill. So how about a vacation? Nassau looks great. 26 degrees on Friday. We will see some lingering cloud cover, but some sunshine and the beach, always beautiful. Towards Freeport, it's 24 degrees. Miami, some showers and getting up to 23. Georgetown, 24 and cloudy Friday. Where's all this snow going to go in Moncton, New Brunswick? Nathan Coleman tells us.
Moncton has 3 dumping sites where they bring all of the snow. One is at the Moncton Coliseum, and there was so much snow there. Last year, they were calling it Mount Moncton.
Snowfall warnings in Edmonton. We want to see your videos.
Meanwhile, in Ontario, Kasia Badurka had a cold conundrum.
And we've decided to have a little fun with this. So we've been playing the game, It's So Cold That. It's so cold that when we milk the cows, we got ice cream. With the final joke. It's so cold that the outdoor weather reporter is going to do her last hit from the inside of the car.